credit Jim Les and UC Davis. I thought they were really terrific tonight. It's not easy because they had such a great season last year. They won their regular season championship. It's a big reason that we played them this year because we knew we were playing a quality opponent that in their own conference has a chance to compete for the NCAA tournament. Very seldom do you have the reigning player of the year in your conference returning. And we knew TJ Shorts was really, really good, and he was great tonight. And they moved the ball. They played together. Defensively, they're underrated. If you look at their numbers and just kind of watch them on film, they are really a together unit defensively. And in the first half, 0 for 2 from 3. That's where we had them. It was a big reason we were up 11. In the second half, they got going. And, I don't know too many guards that go 10 for 15 from 2. And that's what he was, 10 for 15 from 2. We didn't really have an answer, but I have to credit the way they played. Having said that, on our end, we have no room for error. We have to do things right. We have to play with great effort, togetherness. We can't have a single player that worries about getting taken out of the game or shots and any dysfunction, because our margin for error is razor thin, and you felt that in the first 6 to 8 minutes of the second half. I felt it at halftime. Up 11, it didn't feel like we're up 11, and that's something that we'll address, already have, but moving forward, playing in our program on this team, it's non-negotiable. Great effort, playing unbelievably as hard as you can, concentrating, taking good shots, playing a team game, knowing that we rely not just on our starting 5, but the players who don't start. And if you watch us, you should get that sense that we're a real team. If you ever get that sense that we're not, we could lose at any moment, which I think we've proved. I'm thrilled that we're able to win the game and learn maybe a few lessons. Credit Justin Coleman. He's one of those guys that you just know the bigger the moment, he seems to rise to the challenge. And he's had a very, very important role in our non-conference season.
The last 15 minutes was about as tight of a basketball game as any can see over that long stretch. Was that just body goes to each side? I don't think anybody left out more than 2 or 3 points.
We had to start playing small because we couldn't guard them. And when you do that, we don't have our entire playbook and arsenal ready, because it's like we played to win. And it gives us more quickness, maybe gives us the best chance. But offensively, you start moving into the drive. And look, we didn't execute great. Maybe at times we did. But in the first half, we had a couple great possessions against their zone. Early in the game, we moved the ball and got some really good shots against their man. There were times, especially in the first half, where we defended with a lot of effort and togetherness. But in the second half, clearly it was UC Davis's game, and we're very, very lucky to win, fortunate to win.
What were you thinking at the end when they took their last shot? They had to scramble a little.
We did a really good job. Again, we went small and we extended. I thought our guys did a great job of playing them outside the three-point line. And if they were going to score, they were going to have to score inside the arc. And that's the advantage of kind of downsizing. The disadvantage is offensively you have a lot of guards out there, and you're almost playing a game in a different way than you practice, if that makes sense. But if I had a do-over, I'd do the same thing, because it was our best chance to win.
Is this the kind of game you'd like to have in your last conference?
No. We didn't play well, but UC Davis played a great game in the second half. At least I thought they did. Jim may say, hey, we can be a lot better, but we never looked at them as being a mediocre team, partly because my brother told me, and I watched it, when I watched UC Davis play Indiana at Indiana, that game could have gone either way. They had them down double figures. They were up double figures in the second half. They were really hard to defend, and it was the same here tonight. And we had some guys have a couple bad nights. Usually when you think about a bad night, you think of offense. We had a couple moments tonight. We had bad nights on defense. And but it's something to learn from, and I'm glad and really thrilled that we're able to leave with a win and address some of these things. Much different feeling than if you lose the game tonight.
Schwartz was one of the last guys in line to shake your hand and talk to you. You spent a little time with him. What did you tell him?
You know, guys like that sometimes don't get enough credit. You know, he's one of the best little guards that we've faced. I coached a guy at Xavier, Drew Lavender, that reminded me of him. And Drew had a big heart. His teammates loved him, and we could beat anybody on a given night because he was on our team. And I feel the same way about T.J. Schwartz. UC Davis on a given night can beat anybody because he is really, really a good player. And look, the other part is this. You come into McKale Center right now, you have an opportunity to play in one of the great arenas in college basketball. We have an awesome record, and it's people are coming in foaming at the mouth. There's no fear, and it's up to us to reestablish that at least you're going to go against a really, really hard playing together group. Thought we had that the other night, and but we didn't have it for the entire game tonight, and you see that that's our margin for error. Same thing with free throw shooting. You know, in lost in all this, 16 for 25. We're a very good free throw shooting team, and when we have one of those nights where you get there 25 times and you make only 16, again, you're vulnerable. The fact we had 9 turnovers was probably the reason that we won.
Is Justin overall, would you say he's doing about what you want offensively? I mean, you have those strong games in Maui. Hasn't really shot a whole lot lately. Didn't shoot a lot tonight, but he said that you guys and his teammates were encouraging him to keep going there towards the end.
We want him to be aggressive. We want him to shoot when he has the opportunity. You know, he does such a great job of getting in the lane and making people better that I think one of the things is, you know, sometimes taking his own open shot and mixing that in, that could help him. I think it could help our team because, you know, he's certainly one of our team's best shooters.
And the shot he took, you obviously made it, but you liked that shot. I can't remember how many seconds were in the shot clock.
He had no choice. Yeah, it wasn't like the play worked or, you know, it's hard on those scramble plays, you know, just are they going to be in a zone or a man? You execute, the ball gets in. You just don't want your guys to panic at that point. And one of the things we talked about is if we get it in and the shot doesn't present itself, you still have 9 seconds, you know, just make sure we get the ball back to Justin and he can make a play. And obviously, thank goodness he did.
Now that non-conference is over with, what's kind of your overall assessment of your team so far?
I don't know. I'll have to watch this and kind of reflect. But, you know, what could be our best record, what could be our worst, we're probably somewhere in between. You know, the Baylor game was very disappointing, but credit Baylor. Alabama game could have gone either way, weren't able to rebound down the stretch. However, we also had a great second half that allowed us to beat Iowa State, went all the way to Hartford where we were able to beat UConn. A couple home games where we've been down, could have gone either way. We've found the way to win. So, you know, I think for us it's about getting better and learning and being the best team we can be. We do not have a lot of room for error.
Sean, along those lines, what do you like moving forward from your team, and maybe what do you not like moving forward?
You know, we've been a team that's had a great attitude. It's worked really hard. It's almost like all of us recognize that have to do that to have a chance to be the best team we can be. But my experience is like you can go for a while like that, but it's really, really difficult to go the entirety. Usually there's a crack in the armor. And when that crack comes, we have to fix it. And I think the attitude and the effort level, which has been outstanding, can never waver. If it does, we're going to lose a few, win a couple, lose a few more, win a couple. And if we want to be better than that, I think what we love about this team, we can't lose that. And our defense has to stay steady. I mean, our defense has really improved from the first game. You know, tonight we took a major step back, especially in the second half.
So
I mean, they were 15 of 26 from the field in the second half, 4 for 9 from 3. And they played the entire game with 8 turnovers. You look at the first half, 0 for 2 from 3 is big because they shoot 24 a game. A lot of fouls were called. Yeah, that is what it is.
So in a way, I mean, you've said how you know more about your team now because you've had so much time to work with them in games and practices. I mean, is it still kind of inconclusive then maybe in a way about what this team actually is and, you know, what you have? I mean,
Very inconclusive. You know, well, what we know is we're 9-4, and we have to build and grow from here.
I'm curious, I've never seen a block charge before. Had you?
That was the right call. If both officials simultaneously have a block and a charge, that they assess both a foul and the possession arrow stays. I guess favors whoever has the ball, whoever's possession arrow, that's who gets to keep the ball. I believe that's correct, but I have never seen that call, and I never will in the next however many years it is. Never, ever.
and in a game like this too, where it's one possession, does it strike you kind of?
Yeah, I thought Vern Harris made the right call.
I have to go back and look at which one.
Thanks.